Yo, yo.
Yeah, guys.
Yo, yo.
Hey.
Yeah, so I've never actually paid attention to like XP and stuff before. So is that like a thing with all levels? Like between like say going from level 6 to 7, is level 7 like equal to level from all the XP from level 1 to 6 combined?
I don't know. I just know, like, as you go up, the gaps get larger and larger and larger.
Yeah.
Now, theoretically, you're facing bigger challenges, like bigger monsters that provide more XP, but if you go through, like, a couple sessions where you don't fight anything...
Yeah. Well, sure, don't we get XP from social encounters and stuff then?
Yes, but that doesn't increase.
Like, okay.
What I mean is, if you fight a goblin and you get 50 XP, that's great. If you fight a dragon and get 5,000 XP, that's exponentially bigger.
Yeah.
If you convince a guard to let you pass or have a good conversation and they give you 100 XP, and then at level 5 you do the same thing, it's not 1,000 XP.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
So that's like really the only thing that exponentially grows. I mean, in some situations, those social encounters will grow. Like, you know, when you were levels 1 through 3 or 4, you didn't have access to high-ranking officials and kings and princes and stuff like that. So, like, convincing one of them would be a lot more than a guard. But
how do you, is the social XP thing, is that a homebrew, or is that,
yeah, it's completely homemade.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my homebrew. Like, there's no rules for social encounters. Like,
no.
Like at all.
Oh,
That's one of those weird things. Like you're right, it's not in the book, but every DM out there seems to say, you know, of course you get XP. Well, I guess it means that you can solve encounters without necessarily violence. So like if you scare a goblin off, that counts the same as you beating it, doesn't it?
Yes. So like if you are fighting a goblin and it just runs away, that counts as it being killed.
Okay. But what if you like circumvent a fight?
That would be like a social thing.
But I mean, I don't know. Isn't that the case?
You didn't defeat it, you just bypassed it. Like, you didn't break down the wall, you just climbed over it.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, isn't that you still, accomplished something? In fact, in some cases, it might be harder to, like, avoid a fight than win the fight. Or in that situation, wouldn't it make more sense to get the same or more XP for circumventing it?
It really depends on the roleplay that happens.
Okay.
Because, for example, if it takes you 10 to 15 rounds and people get knocked unconscious, you use all your resources to kill a dragon, versus you spend a couple rounds talking to it and convince it to let you pass, which one's harder? You know, it all depends on the scenario. Making a couple, 2 or 3 really good charisma rolls, I don't think is the same as a group making lots of successful attack rolls and possibly dying and making the dragon save and do all,
Yeah. I guess like the counterweight is like, you ever had like the whole murder hobo scenario where as long as you kill something you get XP. And like, it's like, why are we going tracking down these goblins when we can just stay in town and at night go and like start knifing drunk in the back?
Yeah. It's like you're playing a online like multiplayer game, and all you do is stay out in the woods and hunt bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. D&D does have like their XP system isn't tailored towards like social or RPing at all. It's tailored towards like
Combat, yeah.
combat.
That's because combat's black and white, and social encounters are very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that they purposely grade one over the other. It's just that social encounters you can't really. You can try to create tables, but like I said before, if you make a table that says, okay, you convince a guard to let you out of a cell or let you pass, that's 100 XP. But then what if it's the captain? Or if it's the mayor? You convince him of freedom. You know, it's like there's so many other things.
No, you have to totally overhaul the XP system. Like if you set goals like escape the castle, you can either fight through the castle or you can talk your way out of the castle. You get same XP for both. That in that case, but that makes it a totally different game. Hey John.
Yeah, it's more one of those things where it's like, hey, the DM like, here's some generic rules.
Can't hear you.
Just kidding, just messing.
Like one of those things where they say to the DM, okay, monsters are finite things, and if you're going to use our rules from the monster manual and you don't modify the stat block at all, you just use them right from the book, then here is a black and white monster, and here is a black and white XP target. But like, I think like if you take a monster from the monster manual, and let's say that I want you guys to try a troll, right? But the four of you right now would just destroy a troll. So I make the troll a chief, and I add him I give him a bunch of extra hit points and maybe some more damage. Well, now I should probably also modify the black and white XP value from the monster manual as well. So, you know, I should give him more XP value as well. So there's a lot of subjective nature to awarding XP, unless all you're doing is combat and all you're doing is straight black and white.
I've never used and I've never actually bothered using an XP system in the past. I've always just gone along with like what's right for the system, for the situation. Like I kind of do like I do milestones, but not necessarily like, okay, once you guys accomplish the goal I've set in my mind, they just level up. I think like when you guys accomplish something that seems big, that's when you level up.
Yeah, so I kind of do a combination of both. Like when you have, in my opinion, like when the XP value is at or near what it should be for the next level. If it's early, like let's say you guys are 1,000 XP away, but something big happened, I'll just level you up.
Yeah.
If you're at but conversely, if you're at the XP total and you just got done killing a mugger, I'm not going to probably level you up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you don't want to level up over when you just like did something which didn't feel like an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to merge like when you feel like you've accomplished something to leveling.
And the level up will always, at least like how I run things, it will always happen after the session. It'll never happen at the beginning or in the middle.
Yeah, I've been in a game where that happened in the middle of the game, and it's like, oh crap, I need to think of a feat right now. I need to decide what I want to do right now. I have to pick my archetype right now, and I had no clue.
Yeah, and if you've noticed in the past, I've sent you guys emails that said, hey, you're kind of getting close. Start thinking about next level. So that way, like, I'll never level you up in the middle, so you don't have to be like prepared to level up. It's just to get you to start looking at stuff. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
And halfway through a fight, you bop a goblin, and you're like, you're level 7 now. Pick your archetype.
New spell. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Like I've it's like I'll just bring this up. I've realized, guys, I've been making a mistake for a little while now. I thought at level 5 I had 3 spell slots. It turns out I've only got 2. So I'm sorry if that's mucked anything up.
So we're gonna have to put you back to 4th level then.
Well,
Hey, rules is rules.
yeah.
Life again. But you only have 3 spell slots?
I only have 2 spell slots.
Warlocks don't get very many spell slots.
Like, what level spell slots?
I have 2 level 3 spell slots.
You don't have any level 1 spell slots? Level
Nope.
2 spell slots?
Nope.
No, but they can be used for level 1 or 2 spells.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same as any higher level spell slots, but the way...
It's because warlocks get invocations.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, especially when you get to a certain level. Warlocks just stop getting, like, halfway through the class development, warlocks just stop getting spell slots. And it's like, once per day you can cast a 6th level spell. Then you can cast a 7th level spell. Once per day you can cast an 8th level spell, and then finally a 9th level.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, you have like a maximum of, like, 4 level 5 spell slots. And you can cast, you know, 1 level 6, 1 level 7, 1 level 8, and 1 level 9 once a day.
Hey, Justin, why don't you quit camping? You're just running out. You never served in the military, apparently. You're just running out in the middle, the open, just... You need to be one with the earth.
I mean, just, like, dig a hole and, like...
Is that an H and K on your shoulder? 45. No, on your shoulder. On your shoulder. Next. 40. Yeah.
Oh, can you guys see Justin's camera?
I can't.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, I thought you said you could see something on his video. Oh, so you're a Twitch streamer then?
All right, I closed it out. Okay, so let's get going. Ash, you're kind of in the shadows, so
Maybe we should update John.
I'll make.
You
Yeah,
kind of already did. Honestly,
Okay.
man, you
I called
just
them
want
last-
to roll right into it. I'm good.
yeah, I called him last week and kind of told him what happened. And, you know, you guys were holding the funeral the next day for Aetherian and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
now
do I
gotta
go on a
put
water
necklace.
slide?
So, okay. Just a quick recap to where you guys are right now and like what led into where you're at right now. You guys escaped Zerbala and the Death Spinners and the Goblins by traveling down the river. And you eventually went over the side down the chutes, that sort of quasi-waterfall. When you got to the bottom, the druids, there were some druids there that were waiting for you, and you came up from the water, and they've basically walked you back to camp. If you remember, they were kind of, Kasim got a little lippy with one of them, and they kind of like have their eyes on Kasim, and they get back to, you guys all get back to their camp, which, by the way, this village is called Llewellyn. I think I mentioned that before, but if I didn't, then that's what it's called. And everybody was kind of like, the elder came out, the elder druid, and as you guys entered the camp, you were confronted by the elder. The elder was asking you guys why you guys had a Northlander in your party. I think it was Kasim mentioned that you guys had freed him, and that kind of created some tension as far as like, well, if you freed him, that means you're friends with him. Why are you friends with the Northlanders? That whole thing. And so the discussion kind of intensified a little bit. And while this was happening, Aetherian decided that he was going to take a different avenue, and he told the elder, we're here looking for his order master, and to prove that he wasn't a fake, he was legit, he stepped forward and pulled his sword out to show them, this is, you know, my sword. I'm part of the order. And when he did that, pretty much all the spears that were pointed at Cassine shifted over to Aetherian. And at that moment, before anybody took action, while everybody was figuring out what to do, a female voice was heard speaking out from behind the group. Just to recap, or to set the setting, it is nighttime right now. And so this female elf steps into the moonlight and she says, very calmly, she says, "Sheath your sword, Aetherian. Conflict is not necessary here."
Okay, I sheath my sword.
When she gets a little closer, the first thing you notice, obviously, first of all, it's a female. Secondly, she is dark-skinned, like a drow.
Uh-oh.
And,
Wait, what?
she's dark-skinned like a drow. In fact, she looks like this.
Oh.
There, when you take a look, you look her, up and down. There's some glowing symbols on her face that are kind of similar in nature to the druids of Llewellyn. She's dressed in a light robe with a pink-colored cloak. The cloak is stitched with a delicate kind of scroll design. Her dark skin contrasts her clothing greatly. Her hair seems to be of kind of a flowing heather gray greenish color. She presents her sword, and it's very unique. The guard is made of shells and bone, and the pommel at the base looks like a crab's claw. The blade itself is kind of a coral material. It's not. It doesn't look like it's steel. At least it's coral colored, as far as you can tell. It's long and slender, similar to a rapier. And along near the guard, going up, you see the 7 symbols, just like you saw in Writhe's blade. And she shows you her sword, and then sheaths it.
It's a swordfish. It's a swordfish.
Yeah.
Just real quick question. The symbols, are they in the same order as I've seen on the other Master's swords?
No.
They're in a different order. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, what you can discern is that because there's no definitive order in which a member has to go seek masters, it seems as if the first master they meet is the first one on the blade, and then it just goes in order of how they meet these masters. So
what order does she have courage in?
That one would be the third from the cross guard. So third one up.
So she got it.
That was her third master.
That was her third one. Okay.
The elder kind of looks around and immediately turns around to talk to Ash, but Ash is not there any longer. In fact, when you guys approached, you didn't see Ash. The elder was speaking with Ash before you approached, but now it seems that Ash is no longer in the vicinity.
What does the elder look like again?
So the druids, they all wear simple clothing. The elder can be distinguished because of a necklace that she wears. It is on the necklace. There are several different shells, and then at the center of the shells, at the very middle of the necklace, is a large pearl.
Okay.
She also carries a spear like the other female druids.
Okay, so that's Bear Wilders. Okay.
Yeah.
I will just take a quick sideways glance at Estes. What was he making of our drow friend?
Estes is he's hard to read right now. I mean, his jaw is a little bit clenched, and he is like his eyes are fixed on Nuella. But yeah, he's very tense, but it's not like yeah, that's how I would describe it. Definitely something that's disconcerting about her to him.
So does Estes hate the drow?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it did basically enslave him for like, what was it, 4 years or something?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like. Sorry.
Never met a drow who didn't want to punch in the face.
No. Like I mean, she doesn't seem like an ordinary drow to Estes, so I think he'll like give her some time before he punches her in the face, but yeah, no. But also he's surrounded by these druids and they're having spears pointed at her throat, so
It's an interesting
not the
situation
moment
for,
right now.
for everyone. Alex, did she know my name?
Yes.
Okay. I will walk forward warily and present myself. I just say, greetings. I am a Therian Winterstar student of our order, and you are not what I was expecting.
And she kind of, when you step forward into her immediate presence, she kind of looks you up and down, and she takes a moment and pauses before she responds. Yes, I know who you are. That's all she says.
I have traveled far to seek you out. You are the second living Order Master that I have encountered. It is a pleasure to meet you, and a very unusual one.
She looks at you, and then she kind of looks past you at the village elder, and she says to the elder, or to the druid elder, she says, we meet to discuss an attack. And the elder says, yes, let us adjourn into my hut. And then she looks back at you and she says, we can talk later.
Very good. I didn't catch your name.
I am Nuala.
Greetings, Nuala.
She just kind of nods at, looks at you, and she walks past you, looking at you as she walks past. She's kind of looking you up and down now. She's trying to gauge you. She's judging you basically right now. The Nyx, the sprite, enters the hut first, followed by the elder, and then Nuala, and the party is, everybody in the party is welcome to join as well. But all the druids, they stay outside.
Okay.
So when you guys enter this hut, you guys have been in there before, but just to, you know, John didn't hear this last week, so just to kind of like reset. Inside the hut, it's a very humble kind of living quarters. There is a circular table in the middle, and with several seats around it. And the huts here in this village, John, they're thatched type of huts. A lot of like wickerware. It's very, very modest. A lot of mud type construction with straw, that kind of thing.
Very shy.
Yeah, on the screen you can kind of see a depiction of sort of what this area looks like, just to give you an idea. I think. Yeah, you guys are on this page. So the elder kind of motions for everybody to have a seat, and then the elder sits last. And what happens is the elder kind of looks around, and then her eyes focus on Nyx. And she says to Nyx, how can the druids of Llewellyn aid the sprites without interfering with the balance in the forest? And Nyx basically replies that that if we as a group are going to try to eradicate the forest of these goblins in Zervala, that it has to be very surgical, and that she would prefer not to upset the natural flora and fauna, and that she believes that the animals that they're using to fight with are innocent, and so therefore she would prefer not to endanger like the bears and the death spinners.
Okay. What does the druid leader suggest is our plan of action?
So the druid, the druid elder they're not very like ardent combatants. Druids are magical, so that they can make an impact, but they don't fight all the time, not like the Northlanders. So they, she's really looking for somebody else to take the lead in this conversation, somebody with maybe some more experience.
Mm-hmm.
She will mention that how, to you guys, the outsiders, that how the Druids of Llewellyn work, basically, that the females are the hunters, and the men are more of the politician types. So that's why when you were in it was all males at the tavern. They're there keeping up relations and discussing strategy for the druids, whereas the females are hunting and gathering, and they're more of the warrior types.
Okay.
So that what the elder will say is that regardless of what happens, we have to have the men, the male druids, back from town in order for the female druids to depart on this mission.